Random thought. Look, y'all, it's 2023. I'm going to say this one time and one time only, man. Look, if you gay, that's fine. If you straight, that's fine. If you trans, who give a shit? But you know what really pissed me off? Do you know who really pissed me the fuck off? The motherfuckers that stopped at the goddamn yellow light. Bitch, we both could have made it. Get on my fucking nerves, man. Shit, that's just my random thought. That's all I got to say. Yo, what's up, everybody? This your boy Eric G, and welcome to another episode of Random Thoughts with Eric G. Hey, y'all, how y'all doing today, man? Y'all know I'm trying to work out this damn internet stuff, yo. But I'm trying, man. Today we got a great episode, man, with some great people here. About a year ago, I did a part one to this episode of Sex, Love, and Religion, which came one of my biggest episodes. Tonight, man, we're gonna do the same, man. We're gonna have some great conversations. I want everybody to get a chance to be heard and just have that good, the good viewpoint. You also let bring in my people. What's going on, Christy, baby? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right.
Hey,
Definitely feels like midweek. So
who the hell you telling me? I gotta get this shit done when I can. Hey, yo, Key, what's up, bro?
What's up, man? Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, man. Hey, how you been, man?
I can't complain, man. I've been good, bro.
Man, yo, you travel around the damn world, ain't you?
A little bit, just a little bit.
Hey, man, good to see you, man.
Same.
CL, now this the hardest working woman in the world. What's up, girl?
Hey, alaikum salam, my brother. Because he didn't say it right, but I got it.
I sure the fuck didn't. You know, I'm light skinned, damn it. Anyway.
Alaikum salam.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? I'm so sorry I missed last week. That shit has been bothering me. I wish you would have messaged me because I'm always with my stuff. So I apologize to you publicly.
Man, look, I understand you busy as hell, man. I understand that.
I do 10 shows a week, so I be trying to get on everybody's shit. So I really do apologize because I always show up.
No, I heard your show. I heard you on the show last night with Rod, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, you welcome.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all, so pretty much, man, tonight's topic is sex, love, and religion. Y'all, let me be honest with you, man. I ain't asking for everybody to be a damn professor or have the best knowledge of all three topics. But I think all y'all have been to church before.
I passed one yesterday.
Oh, you passed one yesterday?
I did.
Hey, yo, and I know all y'all have been in love before.
Yeah.
And I damn sure know all y'all that had sex. Look, so we gonna have a good conversation tonight. I want everybody to be honest, man. Just be real and just give your viewpoints on life and the journeys we all go through. You know what I'm saying? Tonight I want to have us a real conversation. It can be fun. I want to be serious and just respect each other's viewpoint. That's cool?
That's cool with me. Alhamdulillah.
Hey, man. So before we get into it, man, let me let each one of y'all describe what y'all do and who y'all are. Yo, Chrissy, baby, the comedian, baby. How you feeling?
I'm good. I am a comedian, yes, but I'm also an author. I'm a published poet. I'm also a business owner and founder of the Mind That Matters nonprofit charitable organization. So,
okay, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
See, look, and you was the honorary first white woman on my show.
I know that's right. You
got to clap that out for.
I'm putting that on my bio. I'm putting that on my bio.
Yo, look, I'm gonna put that in my bio. Yo, the first white woman. Random thoughts. I love it. I love it. Many more to come, y'all.
Yeah.
yo, Rankeish, man. Yo, I don't know if I should call you Kiki. Should I call you Cam Carter? I don't know who to call you, man.
It's cool, man. It's cool.
How you been, brother?
I've been good, man. I can't complain, man.
So, man, so you was a wrestler at one point, a professional wrestler.
Yeah, I used to wrestle. I did it for 5.5 years. I did the Indies for 5.5 years. I did do a WWE tryout. Unfortunately, I didn't get picked due to the demographic they were trying to fill. After that, before wrestling, I did semi-pro football, and then after wrestling, I did flag football for a while. So now I do boxing on the side, and I just work 2 jobs and practice Islam. I became a Muslim during the pandemic.
Hey, yo, see, that's what I like about it. You know, most of us, you know what I'm saying, practice Christianity and all that, man, but you practice Islam, man. Yo, I want to talk more about that on the show.
Okay.
Because yeah, like I said, because I think your viewpoint might be different from everybody's.
Yeah, it's certain aspects is different, but not too much of it. Like, we can get more into it. Like, I'm still practicing, so a lot of things I don't know, but some things I am knowledgeable on.
Okay, I appreciate that. Now, CL,
Knowledge
baby.
yourself. What's up, baby?
Now, look, let me tell you this right here, man. I don't know anybody else who work hard as you. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this right here, man. Yo, she do 20 damn podcasts. She hosts like 20 podcasts. She always says that she's the worst guest, but I swear you lying.
I will take over any show I'm on, and I'm working on that. I'd be like, I'm just here to hang out.
She told me to shut the fuck up last time she was on my show.
Yeah, it wasn't even my show. I'm like, I'm sorry, I apologize.
I love it. I said, yo, damn it, come. I love when a woman tell me what to do. Damn it, put me in my place. Shit.
I'm happy to be here, y'all. But back to what he said, I fucked a Muslim before, and you know the only reason why actually I didn't fuck him. I just let him eat my pussy because I felt like if he didn't eat pork, he had to eat pussy. And I was determined to find out. Well, he does. They do. So just ladies, if you are like kind of scared because they don't eat pork, they still eat pussy, so they're still available to date. I also got me some Hebrew dick that was busting. That was definitely.
I bet you fingered the hell out your ass, motherfucker, boy.
Man, definitely that shit was busting. Passover was hitting, let me tell you. I had that Christian dick, but you know that Christianity dick sometimes is confused as always. They be remixing shit. Yeah, I think that's it as far as religion goes. But come back to me. I don't even know what this show is about, but back to you, Eric.
Yeah, but that you know what? I like that random shit. Just be honest with it. We anyway, but CL, man, yo, tell everybody about the stuff you do, because I know you got like 20 shows planned.
Well, y'all know I got a novelty store, PUSSCEETALKS.com. I sell adult toys and novelties. I'm your hostess with the mostest. If you're having a birthday party and you don't think that shit gonna crack, put some CL on it. Pay me a couple dollars. I will turn that bitch out. I'm always open for hire. I got my own podcast called Pussy Talks, and we talk about whatever it is I want to talk about this week. And that's what I do. And we don't even actually talk about pussy. It just always comes up, but we don't talk about it. But it's always
that's what it is. I mean, good pussy always come back around.
Talk your shit, King.
Anyway, man. Yo, so tonight's show, man, we're gonna go do a deep dive into sex, love, and religion, and pretty much like how do each one pretty much coincide well with each other. Like pretty much how we go from one step to the next. So we'll start off. So I asked a couple people some questions and try to get their viewpoint on different topics. And this is real topics that either I had with my family or my kids. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think everybody got kids, right?
Yeah. I don't have kids. I have a son. Don't put that shit on me.
I agree. I got one.
It's a difference.
It's a big difference.
Don't disrespect.
Look, I got 2 grown ass niggas living in my house, man. Anyway, boy, I'm telling you, I can't afford them. But so we have conversations, man. I try to have conversations with my kids, and I call them kids because damn, I got to set some type of down grounds and respect them. You my kids, even though they stand almost as tall as me. I'm 6'3", so they look at me eye to eye. Right, I know, Sierra. I'm sorry. I know you like tall men.
I like a tall glass of water. You know I stay thirsty. Bitch.
I know, girl.
You know why I like big niggas? Because I like to tackle them motherfuckers. That's it. This is your show. Stop talking to me. Go ahead and do your show, because we gonna take.
Hey, Kiki. Let me Kiki. You out of the picture, then, boss. You too damn little and skinny, man.
Yeah,
nigga, you got abs and rib cage. We can't.
Bro, I'm not even cut anymore, bro. I gained weight during Ramadan.
Really? He ate a bean pie and changed his life.
Yeah, it's weird because this is my 3rd Ramadan. So my first year I went in, I was like maybe 178, 180. I ended Ramadan at like 192. And then last year I maintained weight. I was like 180, coming out like 188. So I'm like 188 now.
I still go. When you say them damn numbers, I think about me in elementary school because that's the biggest I ever been.
But you know, I always had a small frame, so I was always small in school. So it's crazy.
Hey, Chris. So I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you go to like black churches or do you go majority white churches?
I've gone to both. I currently go to none.
Hey, understand that.
We ride past them in the same car though. That's my girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know
we'll drive by, but I'm not sitting there for 4 to 6 hours on a Sunday.
Hell no.
4 to 6 hours, shit. I would take a nap. but no, man. First of all, like I'm gonna tell you, y'all see, Chrissy look kind of innocent right now, y'all. I don't think y'all understand. We did this damn marathon to this March to the Books. Yo, we did the March to the Record Books, man, and she came up with whips and chains, and I didn't know what was going on. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. We talking about everything.
I was there. I didn't get to see you at all, Eric. We must never cross paths. I was there too.
Oh yes, I came on when I got off of work. So, I'm always working, so I got on probably like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, okay, yeah. That was an hour after I took control of the hour for it. Yeah, and it just lasted until 5 in the morning. We just kept going.
So Key, let me tell you this. I know you're looking like, what the hell? So they had a 48-hour show, live show for the Guinness World Record Book, and we had different podcasts from pretty much everywhere on there. And I came on around I say about 12 to about 2, and when I say everything was going down, all I know was I seen Chrissy come out there with a damn whip and a butt plug, and I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was scared. I said, and he said, we talking about religion. We need to go back to church now. I was like, Lord.
Yeah.
But no, man, but Chrissy, so you said you went to both, right?
I've gone to both, yeah.
Okay, so which one did you prefer?
See, that's a toss-up. Because a black church was more fun, but a white church, I was guaranteed to be home before 3. So, guaranteed. There wasn't a chance we're going to be there till 5, 5:30, and then have to go somewhere after. No, I was home by 3 o'clock.
Oh, come on, man. We got to take a lunch break if you go to church with me.
You got to pack snacks when you go to a black church.
Who you telling? It's always an old lady.
I was there for like 4 to 6 hours. I felt like a hostage situation after a while. I was young, I was young, so when you're younger, you're like, man, can I just go home?
So you say you don't go in. You say CL. You say you drive past every other day.
I drive past there. I live in Georgia too, so I drive past a bunch every day. Yeah,
we in North Carolina. It's a church on every corner.
Every corner, like
right beside a crackhead. There's always a crackhead standing right beside the church. But
so it's a big difference when you go to a mosque from a church.
So explain that. What's the difference?
I've been to a mosque. I'm real woke with that. I got you playing.
Okay, so the day I took my shahada, which is a witness before God, as you submit yourself fully to Him, that's your shahada. So the day I took my shahada, I went to the mosque for the first time. I'd never been to a mosque before in my life.
Right.
And me walking in there, and you see everybody praying together as one. And it's the most diverse thing you will ever see in your life. And the crazy thing about it is your color don't matter. Your status outside the world don't matter. Everybody's on the same common ground once you walk in the doors, and when you walk out the doors, it's the same way. A poor person can pray next to somebody rich, none of that matter. That's the only time that I ever felt in my life that my color didn't even fucking matter.
Right. So there's a big difference? I mean, what was it that not turned you on towards it, but I know, we all black. Yeah. Chris, you black and girl, I already know. You already ain't gonna go there from.
I'm a white woman, so I'm offended by you saying it, but continue.
I mean, your credit score is, I believe that. But look, what turned you on to? I know you were probably like Christian. What turned you on from Christian to being Muslim?
I guess a better question is what attracted you to the Islam faith?
All right, of course,
a smart woman.
All right, well, everybody know religion is basically passed down through generations.
Right.
And 9 out of 10, a person who's really want to find God and really find their purpose, they step outside of something they've been taught their whole life. Because before then, you start asking questions. Again, like I asked questions, I could never get answers. So through wrestling, I met my best friend, which he's my Muslim brother now. He was Muslim 10 years before I met him. And a lot of questions I asked him, he can tell me clear-cut answers and also explain them to me. At that time, like everybody else, I'm just going off of what I feel is right when making decisions. At the end of the day, it's like gut decisions. I never had a real strong spiritual background,
Right.
even though my family is mostly Baptist, but at the same time, they don't do everything that they preach, which in a lot of households is like that. So me seeing that and me going to churches and go to the church, it's like a show, more so the place of worship where you got people running around, they got people playing drums, they got people dancing and all that. It's not like that when you go to a mosque. Because then the day when you walk into a mosque, you actually see people actually devoting themselves to God and try to become closer to God. And you actually feel that and you see that when you first walk in.
Right.
Like in the aspect of you got two different churches. At the end of the day, you teach about God, regardless you go to a white church or a black church. Why did that even matter if you're still talking about God? I never understood that concept.
Respect.
So when Islam, it shows you that it don't matter what you look like. Everybody's a part of the human race. Everybody's a creation of God. The only difference from what we believe in from Christianity is we believe that Jesus is not God.
Right. So
No,
you'll
we
say that.
believe he's the son of God. We believe that he's only a prophet of God.
Okay. So you'll say there's more of a stripped down version of what we are normally taught.
Yes. So basically, it's like every religion that came before Islam is always bits and pieces of the revelations of God. Islam is complete revelation of God. So Christianity got a certain portion of the revelation of God. But the reason why you got so many versions of the Bible because man made their own laws to fit society versus going by the God-made laws.
Hey, respect that.
That's fact. There's so many remixes of it, it don't even make no sense. So I'm with you, bro.
Right.
The
So
Bible was rewritten 30,000 times, just so you guys know.
how many times?
30,000. 30,000 changes were made to the Bible.
But I don't think that we will ever get the true actual written Bible. I don't think we ever will get it.
No, because simply like the Bible, okay, you look at Paul of Tarsus, he wrote the Bible 40 years after Jesus. Mark, Luke, John, they wrote this Bible 80 years after Jesus.
Right.
Nobody never seen Jesus, no walk with Jesus. But how can you tell a story about somebody you never seen?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And the only companion who walked with Jesus was Barnabas, and he was blind.
So do you
So
think
he
that
didn't see that nigga either? That's not funny. I'm sorry.
I mean, you'll be honest. I mean, you can get straight down, not me. But look, anyway. But no, all jokes aside, I do think. Do you think that many people wrote about him based off their own interpretation or what they feel, like we do now? I think a lot of people now goes off of feeling, of who they think God is, who they think Jesus is, and you think that at that time frame they did the same thing based off of, like you said, passed down through family. You have many people who said they walked with Jesus or they seen him and they passed their stories down. So I think, do you think that that's where we get the finished product of what we quote unquote call the Bible nowadays?
In a way, yes, but another thing too, back in the time when you look at when Jesus was around, G spoke on Aramaic. He didn't speak. The Bible's written in coordinated Greek. At that time, you had people who believe in certain different gods. You got your moon god, you got your night god, you got your water god, you got all these different type of gods. When every prophet that came before Jesus, even Jesus himself, talk about the worship of one God. So when you paint a picture of when you come from a society where you got multiple gods and people who never seen Jesus, it's easy for you to brainwash a society that way because no one have a clear-cut image of what Jesus looked like.
So
Well, it wasn't white, that's for sure.
say again.
said, well, he wasn't white, that's for sure.
Man, I believe that
Yeah.
too. I believe that too. But will we actually say that he quote unquote was black either?
No, but because at the end of the day, like you're not supposed to make. See, if you like, even in the Quran never tells you exactly what the prophets look like. They give you indications what his features could be, but they don't tell you exactly what he looked like. Because when you do that, you can make him look like a certain type of person. There's more, I guess, like if Jesus was black, you people feel like, well, Jesus looked like me. Well, if Jesus white, well, Jesus looked like me. Now
Right.
you feel like you got the power struggle of who has
Superiority.
the more superiority over Jesus based on the color. That's the reason why no prophet ever was told how he originally looked like.
Right. I think that we as a people who deal with struggles, that we identify as God or Jesus as anybody that we could connect to. That will help us get through whatever struggles we are going through. So I do think that if we see it in our head, okay, Jesus was black because it says it was skin of clay and all this. We feel like we have a better connection with him. So our own choices. I do think that nowadays that everybody incorporates what they think the Bible is or what they think the religion is based on their own experiences.
Right.
Yes. But God lives in people is my personal opinion, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, so when elaborate on that. What do you mean he lives in people?
Lives in people, and the reason why I say that is because sometimes you could be just going through some shit. You would never meet this person in the world, and the God in that person you can find comfort in or guidance in. So that's why I believe that God is within us and within the people that are amongst us. I believe there's a higher being, but I believe how we get messages and just random things that happen to us. That's why I say that, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, I get you. I get you. I mean,
And I feel like we got different variations of religion and different things. It's because even when we're in school, like you could talk to that teacher all day and he can explain it. But then you could talk to another person and you get it. So I think that's the same thing why we have different gods or different religion is because everybody can't communicate to everybody the same to get them to walk on the right path. If that makes sense.
But so we were talking about earlier that like the show of church, right? When you were saying that it's pretty much become a show and everybody got to do the drums and the music and all that. I think that the purpose of that word is to keep you engaged in that word because we all got to have some form of entertainment to keep us hooked.
Like it does make sense, but what I have noticed through Islam, it's like you just connect with it. Like if someone who never think about it, if someone had never heard no one recite the Quran, even though the Quran is the original form is in Arabic, and yes, they have the translation where you can understand, but the original form is in Arabic. And once somebody hear that, your soul just naturally connects to it because we believe that everyone is created in a state of goodness. And we believe that everyone is Muslim. That's the reason why you're not a convert, you're a revert. A Muslim is only someone who submit to the will of God. And that's everybody, because everybody depends on God for all the substance, regardless if they want to admit it or not.
Right. All right. So moving on from like religion a little bit, but more than topic. So in the Islam culture and stuff, what do you do when a person who's, I guess, how does it I'm trying to best way to explain this. How is it when a person who, I guess, sin or go against the word? How are they perceived?
At the end of the day, you are always taught you never judge. And we all sin. That's just human nature at the end of the day. There's a reason why God had created the door of repentance, because we all sin. What makes you better than the person who do sin is the fact that you acknowledge God and you acknowledge your sin and you turn to him at the end of the day.
Right. And I remember I was having this conversation with my wife today before I got on the show, and she was talking about God. God is the only person who's judging. You should never judge the next man, and whatever for their own sins. And
That's
what
right.
got me pretty much moving to this next topic is, and I know it's gonna be like a kind of wild like switch. It was something Cee El actually had posted on her page a while back. It was an article with as a Donny McClurkin, where he pretty much says that for years he kind of suppressed his homosexual tendencies,
Mhm.
and he feels like he would. What was it? I think. See, help me if I'm wrong. That he pretty much would never find a true love based off of his religion.
Yeah.
So
He
my
was
thing was
delivered from homosexuality, but he can never be who he wants to be
right.
because his religion holds him back or something like that.
Right. So what do you feel? What do y'all feel like when it comes to people who is, I guess, quote unquote, higher power in the type of church? If they do what's something considered as a sin or considered as, I guess, ill will towards the religion, how do you feel about them being, I guess, exiled from the religion?
Well, the second part about that is they banished him from a big concert because of his past homosexual tendencies, and that was the part of the article that was fucked up. They wouldn't even let him perform because he had those tendencies, and I didn't think that was fair.
But what's a tendency though? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, he might be looking like, yeah, he might be something, but he's not acting on it.
That's the part that becomes a sin. Thinking about it is not a sin, but the action is the sin part.
Right. Do you think that we put so much on what we quote unquote consider as a sin?
Well, some people argue that sin is thought, word, and deed. So it all depends on how you feel.
But if you go with that approach. Say, for example, if someone say, well, if someone do something to my child, I'm gonna kill him. Mm-hmm. Killing someone is a sin.
Mm-hmm.
But your actions behind it can be pure the reason why you did it.
Okay. So from there, and this right here, because I'm asking questions that people submit to me, and I'm also going for conversations that we actually have. So I'm gonna start. I'm moving on between the Bible towards the sex and the love part. So one lady submitted a question. She says that if your partner wanted to practice abstinence before they get married, are you willing to make that sacrifice with them?
Practice what again?
No sex.
Okay.
Like, I mean, strictly nothing, because they have, everybody has sex before, they had sex before, whatever. But then they're like, look, y'all have been doing it already, but y'all like, you know what? Your partner like, look, I don't want to do this no more. I want to cut this down. I want to cut this off right here and walk more further with God. And I don't want to feel like I'm wrong anymore. Are you willing to make that sacrifice with your partner?
Yes.
Chris, go ahead. Say that. Chris, you're on mute. Go ahead and say it, baby. Go ahead and say it.
That'll be a hell no. Thank you.
If
I'm not a virgin and we have had sex already, right, I'm not going to stop having sex in the middle of everything for that. That doesn't make sense because we've already had sex. So what difference does it make if we're continuing to have sex or we never had sex at all? It doesn't.
So the person,
I'm not doing that.
The person was in a relationship. With the guy, and then she's like, "Look, I want to go ahead and practice abstinence. I don't want to move forward anymore living in this sin."
Just be prepared to get cheated on.
Was they married? Was they in the realm of getting married?
They was they end up getting married. But
that's different then.
No, they got married a couple of years later.
But my thing of it is, it's like, to me, I look at, okay, like I said, even though we was all taught that you don't supposed to have sex anyway, until you marry. And of course,
Chris ain't agreeing with this, man.
Of course, we're human.
That we shouldn't have sex before.
Right.
Heavily.
Of course. So, of course, we all have sinned, all have done it before marriage at the end of the day. Right. And people come up with the ideology where you won't buy a car until you drive it. So, of course, you hear that a lot too. But at the same time, even though you sinning and you've been with this person, you might well marry them. It's the person you plan on being with the rest of your life. You might as well. You do everything else.
But saying, so what if that person is saying that I would rather wait until I feel like we're on the topic of marriage, and that marriage could take on a year, 2, hell, maybe 3. But that's going that long while having a sexual, like, anything with that person. But you love them enough, though.
But that's crazy because at the end of the day, you done everything under the sun way before until this point. What's the hold up for? You should be already be on the toss of being married.
But they want
So
to change their mindset because they feel that maybe if they gave it up too easy at the beginning, they're like, look, we might well let's see, can we really, is this what we really want? So they're like, let's just stop and start over. No,
but you must have had that conversation before you make it there far anyway.
I got you.
All I'm hearing from him is if we've been fucking for 6 years, we're not fucking years.
We ain't gonna stop.
Go over there.
That's what I'm saying. If you already been doing this in the start with, you might well go and get married. Why have the conversation after you done this for? This should be the first conversation y'all have before y'all have sex.
Okay, so this is my question to y'all though, is we changed. We're not the same person we was when we first get in relationships. You know what I'm saying? Over the course of the relationships, we all changed our mindset, what we wanted at the beginning, all that shit. So what if in between going through this relationship, your partner was like, look, I wanted to make that change. I wanted, like you said, Ricky, like you changed, you switch your religion.
Right.
And you're going solely based off your religion now. So this person say, look, I want to be cleansed of all my past sins, discretions, whatever. I want to start fresh. Now, you might not agree with it as a partner, but it's your choice if you're going to stay or not.
But at the end of the day, I can't judge her, and the only one that can convince of all them sins is God anyway. All I can do is respect it, but at the same time, I'm gonna ask questions and find out why, so we come to a common ground of why we at this
so
part
basically
of our relationship
saying that
anyway. But my thing of it is, I feel like this. If you with somebody for 6 or 7 years, there's no reason why y'all not married any fucking way.
Okay, but what if it's been a year? What if y'all been fucking for a year, and then at the year you stop? I mean, I think it's different for us guys and as women sometimes.
But if it's only been a year and you stop it off, you still gotta have that conversation. Either y'all gonna continue to be together or y'all not. Either you gonna respect your wishes or you not. They're just plain and simple.
Right. Well, basically, what you're saying for yourself personally, that ain't gonna happen with me.
I'm cheating.
Me personally, I feel like if we didn't done all this, we might as well start talking about marriage before we just go into not having sex at all, because then I feel like I wasted my time.
Well, shit, you get married, man. That means if you get married, it still ain't guaranteed that things gonna fall into order.
But at the end of the day, you still be on the will of God. If you being married, this is your spouse. That's half of your faith right there.
I feel.
So whatever happens throughout the marriage that goes wrong, whoever does wrong will be judged on that. It won't be your fault at the end of the day.
Right. So Chris, you say you cheating?
Yeah, I'm cheating. I'm cheating or I'm leaving. That's it. I'm leaving. I'm not going to not have sex for 3 years.
What did he treat you right?
Any idea what that would do to me?
What
I
did
don't
he
even think
treat
I'd
you
make
right?
it 3 days. I'm not doing that.
But what is
does masturbation count? Can I still fuck myself? I got questions.
It's not
you got
that
questions,
bad.
we got answers. Go ahead, baby.
It's not that bad, like seriously. Because reason why I say that, because I do 30 days of fasting and we don't have sex at all. Unless you're married, then you can do that.
Right.
But if you're not married, you can't do that. It's 30 days of fasting of no type of sexual intercourse whatsoever.
And fast is exactly how I'll run. Fast. I need sex.
So Chris, so the guy's taking care of you, man. He's paying your bills. He's making sure that, you know what I'm saying, y'all everything you need is taken care of. He loves you, I mean, beyond love. But he just said, look, man, I just need to cut this part off right now until we can get married. Man, but then basically you're waiting on either you or him to be like, look, let's make this next step. But you like, look, fuck it, I'm not doing this. I'm just gonna go.
I would be 100% transparent. If we are not going to have sex, we are not going to be together, or I'm getting a hall pass because I am going to cheat. So make a choice. Either we can fuck or we can get fucked. Bye. That's it.
What happened to let's plan a wedding day? What happened to that part?
Fuck your wedding date. No, the minute you say you're taking sex away from me, I'm good on my own. I don't need your money. I don't need you to pay for nothing for me. I'm good. I got a roster. I'll go hit them up. There's always a starting lineup. If you want to take sex away and know that's a big part of what I do, then bye.
Right. CL, I know. See, I'm telling y'all this. When CL get quiet, she's thinking she finna say something off the damn wall.
Mm-hmm.
See, baby, go ahead.
Well, no, it's not even that. So here's the thing.
Go ahead.
I feel it. Sometimes you guys do have to cleanse because, like, when you have turmoil in your relationship, you do need to fast everything. And when I think of when I do fast, I have to fast for my mental so I can have clarity on what the fuck is going on. Let me look at this from a different perspective. And sometimes when you do that, you get to realize, do I really like this motherfucker? That's what it's really about. Outside of the dick, can I still want to be in your presence? Can I still want to be bothered with you? I didn't even notice until this year. I was fucking the guy for 2 years. And it turns out like we had recently had a conversation that I realized I never even fucking liked you. I just like fucking you. And that sounds so fucked up to say out loud, but that's my truth.
That's true.
Now, I was supposed to recently get married in February, but we postponed it. But one of the things that I asked him to do before we, got married, I wanted to just not have sex 30 days out before it. And we made it about 25. Because we called it, we decided not to get married before that. Right. But I end up, my clarification is I really did like him because I was married before, but I actually liked this person. Right. And I enjoyed this person regardless of it. Now, would I go past 30 days? Probably not in the future. But for me, I understood what I was really in it with that person for. And that's why some people do it.
So I think with you, the reason why you were so not eager, but you're so willing to be agreeing with it is because you seen an end goal. You knew that, okay, we got a time frame we're going to be at. So I can hold off on this right here for 30 days, maybe. It
was my idea.
Okay.
He wasn't really feeling it because I asked for 60 days.
Oh, no nigga feeling it.
Yeah, he was like, no, bitch, we can do 30. But I mean, even still, it's like for something, like I said, with that other guy, I thought I cried my eyes out for months about him. And then now I'm 35. I'm like, I never even really liked him. I was in a conversation with him. And I was like, nigga, we ain't talking about shit. And you irking me. And I talk to y'all. We ain't even talk about shit. And I'm enjoying it. But with him, I was pulling my motherfucking hair out. Like, shut up.
I feel
like just put your dick on the table. Don't say shit. Like that's how he made me feel, unfortunately.
Just shut up and whip it out. There you got it.
Right. That's it.
Man, I thought relationships supposed to be 80% mental and emotionally and 20% physical.
But you know what, I'm telling you the truth. That damn 20% is a big ass fucking 20%.
I know, but if you don't have the 80, the 20% ain't worth a fuck.
But let me tell you though, that 20% judge that damn 80. But
like she just said, she only had 20% and not the 80. She didn't care too much for him.
Let me tell you why though. Because when she did have what she thought was the 80, that 20% kind of override it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, your mental. A lot of people make their own mental like judgments based off of that physical.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, like she said, she might not. Her mental was at the time when she was going through it, and it was like, "Yo, I'm in love with this guy." You know what I'm saying? That's why she needed that fasting. She needed to be like, "Look, let me fast from this right here. Let me break away from this right here because if I don't know what is going on right now." Am I in love with you or I'm in love with the dick? And we gotta change up that. I mean, I feel like same thing with guys. I think a lot of guys nowadays, especially the younger guys, be so in love with the act of sex. Their mental judgment is be overshadowed. And that's the 80% you're saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I try to talk this right. I talk to my sons about this right here. Because me and my son, like my son's a teenager. I got a 16-year-old and I got a 14-year-old. And
you've been fucking for a long time. How old are you?
Mind your damn business. I've been fucking. That's my business.
Damn. I thought you was like 29. Like I really did. But
I'm 33. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh yeah, you've been fucking. But back to you.
I mean, at one point in time, these damn glasses were always on my face. But keep telling me, I was a whole different nigga.
Man, it's crazy. You look at back of how fast time has flew. You 33, I be 35 this year.
Right. And me and Keith, we went to school together. That's how we was whole different motherfuckers.
Y'all had some hoes at y'all school, apparently.
So what?
I said y'all had some hoes at your school, apparently.
Oh yeah, we was in BandZ County. we was in it's only two things you can do in BandZ County. That's they either sell ass or sell drugs. What's going on first? But
Shit, man.
But no, don't say you gotta. I'll tell everybody, yo, get away from this town. This town is not meant for anybody. And Key, I appreciate you. And the reason I want you on the show too is because you showcase the positivity that's in this town.
Yeah.
You showcase that you can break away and make different choices in your life and still be on a good path. I mean, because me, you worked at the dog food factory, and it was like, yo, what the hell? What the hell we gonna do?
Yeah, man.
We ain't making no damn money. What we doing?
Right.
And I look how far you went from there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I really want you on the show. And same thing with ladies, both of y'all, man. Let me tell you, Ray, I done watch y'all journey online for a minute. I mean, and once I seen the whips and chain come out with Chrissy, I like, look, I gotta follow her. I gotta see what's going on with this. But
how far from Charlotte?
Say again.
How far are y'all from Charlotte?
2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah, 2 hours. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we on a Virginia line, so we are right before you cross over to Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, once the bullet fly past you right there. You gotta, as soon as you cross it, when you say welcome to Vance County, you just duck.
But let me ask a question back again. I wanted to ask something about that. So we talk about 80-20, but the weight of 20 is heavy. Like y'all can say what y'all want to say, because you can have a bitch that has 85%, but that 20% could weigh, if you ever get to know that 80%, if that head game ain't right, if the sex game ain't right. So you say it, that weight on that motherfucker is so serious. I met a guy who was 95% of everything I wanted and needed, but the dick just wasn't dicking, so I had to let it go. And like that 20% to make you gamble away a good person, and that's unfortunate. But why do y'all think that is?
Because like I said, we so our mind state is clogged by sex sometimes. That physical act is what clouds our mindset. We're not looking. A lot of times it's hard to see that damn 80 when you want that 20.
Yeah, and then too, when you get older, man, you can actually start looking at what you really want in the day. What's gonna last longer, sex or having somebody who's actually gonna be there to take care of you through the long haul? What's more important?
We don't start worrying about that till like our second, third marriage, though. So
Chris said, "Fuck that, fuck the damn long haul. Get me now. I want mine now."
Period.
You also got to think about it, man. What if you get sick? Then what?
Then I'm gonna die. That's why I got a good life insurance policy and a will.
Tell him, Chrissy. Tell him.
Period. They just told me there's a nationwide shortage on albuterol. Somebody who's had asthma for 30 years. I'm like, fuck it. I've got a good life insurance policy and I've got a will. They're gonna be all right.
She got an insurance policy and a nut. She is happy.
Period. Period.
Hey, but all jokes aside, man, so the next question is still pertaining to the same thing. This young guy asked me, and I mean, he's like, I said, well, it's one of my son's friends. They all around that age where I think where everybody want to have sex at, 14. So he asked me, he's like, what's the big deal of waiting until you get married? Like, why can't we do this now? Like I'm 14. I think I'm ready. I'm ready for this. Why can't we do this now? And like I said, I'll be honest with you. I started at 14. That's me personally. But I wouldn't want my son to start at 14. And
I started 13.
Right.
Ain't no way in hell want my son.
You don't want your child to do it at damn 14.
That must be a boy thing, because when I initially lost my virginity, I was 13. But I didn't have sex until I was 17.
So the second time.
But I can say it's a person thing. It's a preference. For me, I lost my virginity at 13. She was 16. I didn't literally start having sex until I was in 11th grade.
Right.
That's true.
I mean, and the same thing for me. I think, like I told my son, and I'm saying true, and they don't hear the fact that you said, yo, I started at 13 and I ain't do it again until I was in 11th grade. They hear, shit, I started at 13.
Yeah.
And so I try to talk to them about the bigger picture, man. And I think, like I said, most of y'all have, you said a child or kids or whatever. Like, how do you have that conversation with them? Like, look, okay, where we at right now? Where you at right now? What you feeling right now? You can hold off to it. I always tell my sons that, look, you might not want to get married to have sex. No, that's not what everybody want to do. A lot of people don't want to get married and to have lose virginity. I feel like a lot of times when people do that, you're not marrying that person for the right reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So how do you have that conversation with the younger kids or the teenagers or whatever and tell them, look, okay, you not have to wait, but you don't have to wait, but I think you should wait longer or later than where you at right now.
Well, I had a conversation with my son. He's 11. And for me, I look at from past experience in my life and experience with my pops. My pops got 7 kids. My pops been working since he was 16.
Right.
So there's no way possible that I want a lifestyle like that. And I've been damn on teaching my son to have a lifestyle like that. So I'm going to teach him the consequences of having sex, because at the end of the day, you know the consequences of having sex. You have a kid, your obligation, your job is to take care of whatever you have. It ain't no in between, no maybe, no, you're going to take care of them. Mm-hmm. So you got to instill that into them at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you make a grown up choice to lay down with somebody, you got to understand the grown up responsibility that come behind it. Mm-hmm. And you also got to look at where you're trying to be the next 20 years. If you want to continue being here, having kids with everybody else in your surroundings, or you want to be different. So you got to paint all these variants and these pictures to the person, let them know to make the decision of, do I really want to do this, or can I wait?
Right.
Well, I mean, my thing is, like, my son is going to be 11 this year. And generally, from research, it says that kids start watching porn between 9 and 11. So that's when they're really starting to get interested in
6.5 for me.
Okay, well, what was it? The static where you tried to catch like a nipple?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Oh, a green titty, yes.
Yeah, green warped titties, man. We all used to watch them. But,
why do you think I got these glasses on?
But to be fair, as far as the conversation goes, like in particular with my child, like I'm one of 6 girls. There are a multitude, obviously, because 3 of us are in our 30s of children. With that being said, I'm not going to bring the conversation up until my son shows me indications that he's ready for that kind of conversation. I'm not just going to throw it sidebar, because obviously if I bring it up too soon, it's going to pique his interest in it. And that's not something I want. That's the opposite of what I want. So I'm waiting for those key indicating signs that my son is ready for the talk. You know, he starts talking about girls differently. He starts mentioning things that'll give me that indication, you know?
Right.
The only reason why I started early, my bad. The only reason why I started early, because you got so much the gay stuff going on in cartoons and the media on TV. And I rather my child to learn the right way about things first, make a decision, do something that's totally fucking left, that's not even fucking right.
Right. So and I appreciate you even moving to that topic, because it's kind of helped me out with the next question I gotta ask. So, and this right here, me and my wife had this conversation too, where there have been people that's been gay in the Bible for years. I mean, we had transgenders been around for years, and me personally, I have no discrimination against anybody for their preference, what you choose to do. That's your life. What it have to do with me is none of my damn concern. Right. So, and this was a question based on Donny. What's up, Donny? You here, man?
What up, though? My bad, man. I am so sorry. My show went long.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Long.
Hey, so and I tie it back to the Bible, because I know that it's been a lot of like sex is really. And I told my wife sex is really big in the Bible. I do know that. But back to this right here is, when you say the gay stuff and the transgender, do you think that there's a gay agenda that's out there now?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So basically, it's like,
I think it always been, even in the biblical times, it always been.
So why you say that?
Talk about them cats who visit Lot.
Okay. a whole back. That's a good example, man. The whole backward society at the end of the day, where you have men rather have sex with other men other than their wives. And the story about Lot is his own wife turned on him.
So,
but I'm talking about the cats who visit him after he didn't got him a new chick.
Yeah, that's funny. Is the fact that people was afraid to live in their truth? You think it's afraid people afraid to live in their truth at the time, and they feel that, okay, cool, I'm just gonna do this for the public image, and then I'm gonna just hide it and do what I want to do. I think that would happen now. I feel like it's majority. You see, though, The majority of that shit you will see like that is in the hood. I tell everybody, the most of you see is in the hood. I've seen plenty of these hardest dudes you ever meet has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
But going off from there to this, and I think Donny, you was here on when I did the last Sex, Love, Religion podcast episode. It was kind of touching with the women too. So it's a situation now where we do have everybody identify who they identify as. Everybody nowadays feel like, okay, cool, I identify as this, or that's what I am, blah blah blah. The thing, the weights information and all this other stuff going on. When it comes down to the topic of women nowadays, a lot of transgender women, and I use that term respectfully, is that if they identify as a woman, they are a woman. As women that's on the show, as women on the show, do you feel the same? Do you feel like, okay, cool, because they identify as a woman, they are a woman?
Well, since I identify as a woman for this question, no, go ahead.
Wait, go ahead.
So for me, I feel like if you identify as a woman, be who you are. I don't really care. I'm all for people not wearing masks and being exactly who the fuck they say they are or they feel they are. The only problem I have with it and the only difference and the line I will draw is the bathroom. If you have a dick, I don't care what you identify as, you go to the bathroom with the rest of the dicks, period. If you do not have a dick, you go in a bathroom that does not also have a dick, period. Right. Same with jail, everything else, especially when it comes to my child. Do not put somebody of the opposite sex in the bathroom with my child, because that will lead me to have to explain things to my child that I'm not sure he's quite ready for yet. He is in the 4th grade. That's not something I feel I should have to explain to my child this early. It is absolutely an agenda. It's forcing these ideals on our children, especially in, let's say, teenage, preteen years. I wear boy clothes and I dress like a boy all the time. I'm a tomboy, so therefore I should get a sex operation to be a boy. Only to realize, like, I was just a teenager and I had no idea what I wanted or what I was, and now I'm a whole different sex. What do I do? It just leads to a whole bunch of confusion at a time where kids are already confused enough. Let kids be kids. Damn. That's
the reason why I feel the type I feel about the whole LBG community, whole thing, bro. Even though I treat them as human beings because that's what they are, I'm not gonna call you no woman when you was brought in the world as a man. No, I'm gonna call you a man when you brought in the world as a woman at the end of the day. I'm not gonna do that. For one, I'm gonna treat you as a human being. That's it. I'm not down with the gay pride and all that, because regardless if you're black or white, you still gonna have the same issues as any other black white person have, regardless of what group you want to put yourself in.
Right.
So I feel like that whole thing is stupid.
Don, I know you ready to say it.
I actually feel like identifying as whatever is retarded to me. It's like,
it is.
Just because you identify as this, your disconnection with reality, or should I say with actuality, is that don't make you that for real. But you identifying it as, again, it's just BS. In I think I'm trying to figure out how to word it. My latest episode is called "Therapy is the New Drug." Side effects, mental illness or mental issues. because it's like I feel like therapy has people thinking that they need therapy, rather just therapy just being a thing that people could just go to like a doctor. So all of that being said, I identify as this, I identify as that, and you want people to treat you as such, it's a disconnection out of this world to me. You know,
I'm trying to figure out how is it okay for someone who say, well, I'm a man, but I want to be called as a woman. It's not considered as an illness versus someone who had 3 different personalities.
That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean by Chris, what I just stated.
Hold on, Chris. Chris, go ahead. I know you want to say it. Go ahead.
My bad.
There's
I'm sorry.
a lot being said that just reeks of misinformation about mental health. As somebody who owns a mental health foundation, I'm just like blown away. Okay, everybody needs therapy. Everybody. Therapy is meant for you to talk about things and come to conclusions yourselves. It's like having a ball of yarn that's tangled and having somebody pull it one string at a time until you unravel it and figure it out for yourself. It does not label you with a mental health condition. You have to go to a completely different doctor for that. Let's start there. So how about that? You have to go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist in order to get diagnosed with any kind of mental health condition. Whether or not it leads people to believe they have a mental health condition is irrelevant. If anything, it's just educating them about the possibility of them having a mental health condition, and there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, I don't consider people who consider themselves a different gender a mental illness. It's a preference. I prefer men in uniform. Does that mean I'm mentally ill? No, it means I have a preference. If I want to be called a man, then that's what I want to be called. Whether or not you want to do that is entirely your choice. That's the freedom of speech, and it's the freedom we have as individuals. You don't have to agree that I consider myself a man in this scenario, obviously.
Right.
You don't have to agree that I consider myself a man, but you do have to show some level of respect for human beings in general and what they identify as.
Right.
You don't have to approve of it or agree with it. You just have to respect it.
I think that based off this nowadays, and I say nowadays, because I feel like now it's so heightened to everybody we have a choice and everybody there's no labels and this, that, and the third. I feel that it's kind of we at a place where it's kind of like overboard and Wild Wild West type. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that nobody, honestly, everybody just want to go without no type of restrictions with what they want. Like that would bring us up to we need to have unisex bathrooms because everybody feels okay. Look, I'm right. I am who I am. You gonna like it whether you like it or not. Only thing I say when it comes down to having that conversation we were talking about with kids is that I don't think if you're gonna have that talk where they feel that they're misgendered or whatever, that conversation should be had as they get adults when they have time to have a right mindset for it.
Right. That's why I said I feel like you should teach your children the right way of man and woman. So when they get older, they want to discover on their own, they got the freedom to do that. At least they know the right way. You can't teach them something that you know is not normal, is okay.
But how do we know that's not normal or okay? Well, our definition of what is man and what is woman changes every 10 years.
And they everybody
so what's the
right? Everybody here was brought up knowing that a man's supposed to be with a woman and not a man with a man.
Well, I'll add to that is to just that one right there. Well, before I say what I was about to say is that first of all, this misinformation about mental illness that you took it as in your perspective, I said I feel like. I didn't say it was. I said I feel like therapy has people thinking that they need therapy. What you're doing right now is therapy. This right here is therapy. So you don't necessarily need that particular therapy. But again, I said it feels like, it seems like that therapy has people thinking that it needs therapy. Answering what my man was saying about everybody grew up knowing that a man is supposed to be with a man, blah, blah, blah. I feel like the right way is to just teach your child to be themselves. Women are brought up to be somebody's wife or girlfriend. Men are brought up to be what we deem as a man is stereotypically.
Hey, you went out. You going out, Donny. You going out.
Didn't he stay talking on mute like somebody?
Donny, you going off, but you going out, boss.
He's still talking.
We can't hear you.
Hey, Donny. We can't hear you, boss. You can't hear you, man.
You got to message him, tell him. You got to message him, tell you
can't hear you.
Hold on a second. Let me put you back so I can get you ain't on mute. Just enjoy your end, boss.
He's probably getting a phone call.
Oh, probably did.
I don't know how this is therapy. This is a conversation to spread awareness and education from different perspectives. I don't consider that therapy, though.
I get what he's saying too.
I do, but I don't.
Yeah, I still can't hear you, boss.
You know, he in Detroit. They ain't even got towers in Detroit. They got 2 houses on one street.
She's stupid.
Hey, but
Yeah,
I
man.
get what he's saying though. I get what he's saying. When he said that this is therapy, it's because you're able to vent and voice your own opinions, and you
Right.
getting different opinions
Perspective.
and perspective. There you go, perfect. You get
It's a
different
safe
perspectives.
space. It's a safe
That's
space.
Yeah.
where I think he's coming from when he said this is therapy,
Yeah,
because
but therapy
everybody
is
know.
more like giving coping mechanisms and strategies
I
to
mean, but
get through problems.
I feel like that's counseling. Counseling is giving you is giving you the equipment and the instructions to how to not fix but how to cope with your problems.
It's all needed.
Yeah, so
Well,
counseling is just short-term treatment. It's the same thing as therapy, it's just short-term.
I mean,
Counseling and therapy are the same thing. Therapy is just long-term
Okay,
treatment.
my bad. I
Counseling's for
didn't
like
hear
one specific
absolutely nothing.
issue.
all right.
I'm sorry about that. My headphones cut. I heard absolutely nothing. You don't have to
Yeah,
repeat
man,
it. I
but
just
you were
picked up
going to
on
hell off
something
though, man.
else.
You was going the hell off, man.
So
He
my
Hey,
damn
but
bad
sure
go,
was.
about that.
go ahead, man. I'm sorry. What were you saying before you went mute?
Me?
Yeah,
Oh, that was just the gist of it. Like what I said. That was just the gist of how I feel about that. Because who's to say it's the right way? Like who says morals are the morals that they're supposed to be? Just because you don't like this, so now it's morally wrong. Well, nah, I like this. This is what brings me pleasure. So why what brings me pleasure morally wrong? Why is this called what we say a guilty pleasure is? Like why are you guilty about what makes you happy? So that's what I mean by teach your people to be themselves versus being something for somebody.
right, right. I respect that. See, yeah, you really had to pretty much no input on the topic. How you feel?
I'm sorry, I got a phone call. Y'all know it's my dad's birthday, so I've been getting a lot of
Oh,
phone.
I mean, I'm sorry about that, my man. That birthday, dad.
Well, he passed away last year, so my phone
Uh,
blowing up
happy birthday.
all day. Like, are you okay? Like, I'm
Um,
okay. I'm still here.
happy heavenly birthday, man. My mom passed too, so I understand.
It's been a tough day, but I made it through, so it's cool.
You got it, girl. That's why I love you. Come on, you can talk your shit. Get it off your chest.
Now, what the fuck we talking about? So I can talk my shit.
Hey, yo. So pretty much, the conversation was about we're at this place now. I feel like I'm trying to do politically correct. Not have to say stuff.
My
Um, I'm
That's
learning.
not being.
they
See,
You
that
said
ain't
fuck.
being
You said
you.
fuck it. You
That
said
ain't
fuck it.
being yourself.
Okay, so
Politically correct ain't
Donnie,
being
you
you.
worried about what's going on in Detroit with your two houses on the street?
on the same street. But no. So Betcha was saying is the topic of men of transgender women. Um,
I ain't got nothing on that.
no, but not in a bad way. This ain't a bad way. What we're saying is they're identified. They want to be identified as just women, not transgender women, just women. As a woman, how do you feel that way? Do you feel that okay? Look, we are the only real woman, or do you feel like okay, we all should be accommodating?
I don't give a fuck. Hey, bitch. That's it. That's all I'm gonna give her. Hey, bitch.
But
But also, I identify as a strong white woman, and that's it. I don't want you to say shit else. Because when I say that, don't say nothing else. So if that's
damn,
what they want, that's what they want.
what
I
damn,
identify as a fucking problem.
well, damn girl, you got a hell of a tan. I'm gonna tell you that now.
But
Hey,
the fact that you are, hey, it's cool that you identify with that. Again, if you if whatever you believe in, whom or what you believe in, it's okay in my book as long as you
but I'm
heard
not gonna
only
force you to
you.
call me the strongest white woman you know. But just know I'm the strongest white woman you know.
I mean,
Okay, but again, the fact that you don't see that as a freaking, how can you, like my man said, how can you call split personality split personality when you identify as whatever it is you identify as? That's crazy, or that's what we call, or that's what we identify as what crazy is. Because you have said that plenty times. I'm quite sure you probably have. You probably can't recall, but we make fun of everybody and everything. Even when we at home, we make fun of it. When we're looking at stand-up comedians, we're laughing at the perfections and imperfections of reality. And we all make fun of this.
But Donnie,
But
here's the thing. Why
mhm,
does it matter? It's okay. If
it
this person
doesn't matter.
But
That's what I'm
but
saying.
my
It
point
doesn't
is,
matter.
this is
But
what
you
this is what
are
the
crazy for
pause.
How
identifying as
this
a freaking
guy?
dog.
But
If
this is
This
you know
guy
you're
needs
not a
some
dog.
education on mental health. It's not crazy to have multiple personalities. First of all, let's
but
start there with your terminology is an issue. But go
Oh
ahead,
my goodness.
CL.
I say that's
Let him
what we
have it, girl.
identify as
be
crazy.
who you want
That's
to
what we
be.
call
Like,
crazy. And I'm quite sure
Donnie,
No,
you
it's
let's
call
not.
Donnie,
It's
somebody
what we
crazy
call
too.
mentally
Donnie,
ill
yes.
or psychotic,
It's the
not crazy.
same
All right,
Crazy
all
is
right,
an
thing.
insult.
yo.
But let me
CL,
Mental
CL got the
crazy,
floor. CL got
mental
the floor.
illness
CL got
is
the
the
floor. Go
same
ahead.
thing as
let
crazy.
me
So
say what
come
I need to
on now.
say.
All
Come
right,
But
let
on
me.
now. You know
Donnie, let me.
terminology.
I'm gonna have to meet you, man.
but what this is what I'm saying, y'all, for real. When
Man,
I got my locks, you
political
can't tell
correct person.
shit, okay? But when I put on my blonde wig, you still I feel like a different person. When I put on my curly wig, I'm a whole different bitch. So whoever I want to be today, tomorrow, in the next 5 minutes, it's not crazy. That's what the fuck I'm on. That's the vibe I'm on, and I have that right. Just like if a person
Yes.
with a dick want to be a bitch, hey bitch, I'm with you. If you got a dick today and you still want to have a bigger dick tomorrow, what's up, my nigga? Like I feel like I'm on whatever wavelength you on. If you just got your ass beat by that nigga and then 2 days later y'all back together, what's up, dog? You know you my favorite. But when you like fuck that nigga, I'm like fuck that nigga. I'm with whatever the fuck you on. That I
That's
love you
BS to
wherever
me.
you at.
So
That's
I,
why
Something.
they call me the fine ass auntie. Not because I'm fine, but y'all know I am fine. But I'm fine with who you are, where you are, and how the fuck you are. I don't give a fuck. But what I don't appreciate sometimes is how people try to force it on you in a negative way. That's what I don't agree with. Now, for me, I'm fine with it. But for other people that may not be fine with it, don't shove that shit down their throat because they have a right to say, I'm uncomfortable with this. They have a right to say, I'm not cool with that. And that should be it. But you're the problem when you keep trying to say, I'm a woman, say, I'm a woman. Bitch, you know you a bad bitch. Bitch, you know you a woman. So what the fuck does this person saying you are or not have to do with anything? Shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
That's my same issue with
Exactly.
Lizzo. Lizzo, bitch has been fat, okay? We
right.
loved Missy Elliott fat ass when she was fat, and Missy didn't have to tell us that she was fat, but we loved Missy. I
Right.
can't stand Lizzo because she's trying to push her fat down my throat, and I don't like that. And I love fat bitches.
That's a lot of pushing. But
And I
You see what I'm saying,
100%
though? It
agree with
doesn't
you.
make sense to me.
I mean, a big girl ain't
I
never hurt nobody.
100% agree with you. I 100% agree with you. But that falls under the thing of, again, I don't care what you believe or who you believe, just long as you ain't hurting me or anybody else on the planet, you cool with me. But
Right.
I thought we were getting to the actual greedy of this, which, hey, again, that's crazy.
So so so
That's crazy.
so the purpose of the conversation I have, or the purpose of this part of the conversation is that I knew that there are women out there who says that there was a situation where a woman, a trans woman, wanted to have a kid. She wanted to have a kid the natural way,
She ain't
but
hit right plumbing. I'm
but
sorry. I laugh at everything.
I said I want the conversation to be serious but fun.
Absolutely
But
everything.
so
Laugh.
listen, so the woman, so this woman, she wanted to have kids the natural way, but she knows, okay, she feel that it's a I won't say wrong thing, or she blamed God, whatever, that she wasn't born with the piping for the woman. So she's trying to do an operation where she can get a uterus transfer, I guess.
Why not just adopt?
But she wanted the natural way. She's identified as a woman, so she
It
wants to
can't
push
be
out a
done.
baby like a woman will.
It can't be done.
I don't know
That's
why,
the
because there ain't nothing
lunatic
fun about
about
that
it.
shit.
That's what's crazy about it. It can't be done. You can't turn a gender
But
into
that's what
another
makes
gender.
science
It
so
can't
fun.
be
She's a
done. That's
scientist
why
brain.
it's crazy. You
But
can
here's the thing.
identify that at all you want, but that's why it's crazy. Again, just
He
because you
throws that term
identify
around way
as
too
something,
much.
that don't make you something.
I'm trying to figure out why everybody want to play God.
I'm trying to
It
figure out
don't
why
make.
everybody's crazy.
Okay,
That's because everybody identify as whatever. That's why
Why
everybody's
does that make them
crazy.
crazy?
I,
You want to
I
see crazy? Have you ever
it's
met
all
someone
right.
with multiple
I'm not
personality?
trying to convey. I'm
Just
not trying to convert you into
disorder.
believing that that's crazy. I just told you I was crazy at least about 3, 4 times. I just told you why. Again, you can
ooh,
identify all you want, but the fact that you actually believe that you are what you identify is ludicrous. That's what I'm saying. It's
It's a fact.
ludicrous. You believe that you're a dog. You believe you're a canine, but you can't do what K-Nass do though.
I
If
see a
you
lot of
actually
motherfuckers
believe
on
you a
leashes, so you never
K-Nass,
know.
you
Well, Chris,
believe you a
that's your
black,
personal
you
life.
believe you a white woman, yeah, okay, cool. But
Hey,
the
let me
fact
tell you,
that you
I have
think
to
that you're a white woman for real,
because
go out
as
there and
a
do
white woman,
what
I'm on the
people do
motherfucking
and see.
chain, so I have
So
to.
so
Go
hold on, Dan. Hold
go
on,
out there and do
wait a
what
minute, wait a
people
minute.
do and see do you get treated as a white woman.
But here's one thing,
That's what
Dan.
I'm
For
saying.
example, what was the lady name a few years ago? What was the name? Zori.
Oh my God, what was her name?
Rachel,
Rachel Dolezal. Rachel
the
Dolezal.
white lady.
I didn't. Well, she identified as a black lady.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She identified as a black woman. But what
Yeah.
she did though, Donnie, pretty much what you said. What she did was she walked. Well, I ain't gonna say she walked the steps of a black woman, but she went so far as being. I think she was the chairman, the chairperson of the NAACP,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and she pretty much tried to make she tried to help with the laws for black women and black people all together while wearing crochets. And I was like, there were people like, why is she wearing crochets? Why can't she? Why don't she just be? She's a white woman. Why don't she just stay as a white woman? Why do you want to be a black woman? You will never experience us as black women.
And now she got curls, like kinky perm curls.
But basically in that situation
But
is
she
this.
fooled me. I thought the bitch was black too. I ain't even gonna hold you.
She just had a good ass tanning bed. But my thing is,
You see her
But my thing
pimples?
is
Them
that
niggas white.
situation to me, I feel like that situation would be the same as having the the trans woman's conversation, because you don't want her. If people tell her you're a white woman, why are you trying to be black? It's the same thing you telling a man who want to be a woman, look, you a man, why are you trying to be a woman?
Again, why you trying? Again, I don't care why you trying. I don't care why you being. Again, you're not hurting me.
Right, right.
It makes no difference to me. You're not hurting me
But you
or my
can't
people.
say it's not hurting you and then say offensive shit like that's crazy.
No, you're saying you're
Thank you,
taking it as
CL.
a no. You're taking it as offensive. That's
That's
what
what you
you're
said.
taking it
Crazy is an
as.
offensive word. Crazy is an
No,
insult.
no, it's crazy. Anything you take
Crazy is an
offensive is what
insult
you
word.
decide to
Yes,
take
it is.
offensive. Anything
Crazy
you
is an insult
any.
word.
Oh my goodness. A
I'm not really offended, but
a
I'm just
word is a
saying
word.
people get
A word
offended
is a
when
word. That's all a word is. It has syllables in it. That's
and a
all a
chair
word
is
is.
still a chair,
You're
y'all.
taking it as
Even if nobody's
offensive
there,
because that's
y'all.
what you want to feel right now. You
Ooh.
want to be offended right now.
Okay,
No,
Versus
okay,
just
okay.
listen,
the way
just
you
listen to
explain
what
things
Okay,
and the way you
somebody's
word
saying.
things
okay.
is
Just
very
listen to.
insulting
Okay,
to
yeah.
people with mental
Let's
health
move on to the next.
conditions
Let's move
or
on.
Hey,
issues.
hey,
Let's move on to
I
love,
get
y'all.
that's
Let's
how
move
you
on to love.
feel,
We need some
but
love in the damn room,
Really? Because
y'all.
he got a lot of hate down there.
the
This is
reality
mental health,
of it,
man.
the
Yo. Oh,
reality
yo.
of the
It's
offense,
negative
I'm gonna talk to
connotation.
the reality of the offense is
Donnie.
you're not
The
a
reality
dude.
of the offense is that the
You're
word
not a
crazy by
dude.
definition has a negative
You're not
connotation.
a
Educate
dude.
yourself.
That's the
Google is important.
reality of
Thank
it.
you. Moving on.
Let me do this. Let me do
all
this.
right, real quick. Let's
I
go to
love y'all,
love.
man. I love
Love
y'all, but we
is
gotta move into
a
love,
mental
y'all. I love y'all, but we gotta move into love. Okay.
illness because love is a mental illness. I say that all the
I had already
time, but
stopped talking.
I love me some love.
So we got to.
Rankeish, I want to ask you a question about love because we're gonna talk because he's nice to me. All right, hey Ran, question to you real quick. So now that you have your new face,
Hold on.
which I
Hey,
think is
CL,
amazing,
your voice is
that you
good, but hold on, CL, your voice is good, but the video is jumping.
can you see me?
I can see you. You moving in like a robot.
Okay, am I better now?
No, you got 2 bars now, baby.
Ah, fuck it. Never mind.
Well, go ask the question. Ask the question. We can hear you.
I wanted to know, like, with his new Muslim faith now, do you desire a woman of Muslim faith now, or would you still be okay with a Christian woman? Where are you at with love with that, or is love just love for you? It doesn't have a religion. That's the question.
For me and through Islam, you can date anyone who believe in that it's only one God and he has no partners, regardless if they're Christian or Muslim. I would like to have a Muslim wife. It's not necessarily, it may not be the case. I would like to because we have both on the same path of trying to get to Jannah, and we both on the same path of trying to get close to God. Not saying someone in Christianity is not on the same path, but our views on religion is totally different. And you may have the issue when it comes down to religion. And I honestly believe that religion is a strong pillar in a relationship at the end of the day, because that's one bond that's never gonna change, regardless of how another person may age or get sick. The religion is the bond gonna keep y'all together.
So, question is for everybody. The question for everybody is right here. Could and Rankeish, thank you for helping me with this a little bit. Could you be love? Could you be in love or be with a person that has a different viewpoint from yourself?
Yes.
And for example, like Chrissy and you and Donny just had 300 minutes of a damn rant. But could y'all see yourself with a person who has them type of viewpoints that's opposite of yours?
Well, I think educating your partner is important and reaching a compromise. Communication's everything. It depends on where you're at with your communication. Honestly.
Okay, Donny, go ahead. I know you're ready.
Yeah, because I'm not falling in love with your beliefs. I'm falling in love with who you are. And on top of this being your beliefs, who's to say that this will be your beliefs as we grow?
Right.
Like I'm falling in love with whoever I fall in love with, and I'm falling in love with whoever falls in love with me.
But I think that
I'm not falling in love like my viewpoints here right now. My viewpoints here right now. That's how I feel or think right now.
Right.
Right now. Me, as far as educating somebody on something, you have zero idea what you're educating on. You're just going off what you think you know about what you're educating them on. You have no certainty on this religion. You believe that this religion is like that, but there's no certainty that this religion is like that. So I'm not going to leave it up to someone's religion beliefs unless your religion beliefs is hurting other people.
Right. I understand completely. I understand. So back to so my thing is right here, like you said, so you basically pretty much everybody say that you can coincide with a person who has a different beliefs from you. But and one thing that CL said that me and my wife actually had a conversation about tonight was that I feel like that love can be can make you mentally unbalanced sometimes. I don't think that I think I think love packs a bigger punch than the word hate, if that makes sense.
Mm.
You just called everybody in love
Mhm.
crazy.
Say again.
So you just called everybody in love crazy.
I mean, a bit. Beyonce said it best: "We crazy in love, ain't we?" But and not saying that
So let
anybody.
I
me
say it
be
as well.
determined why I say that, Donnie, because you always talking shit. But this is why.
Go ahead.
Love is a mental illness to me and for me
Right.
because if some of the shit that people that we love did to us as a regular person, the motherfucker would be dead.
True.
You see what I'm saying? You wouldn't spend your last money on a stranger, but for your kids, you would give them the last everything that you have. For your partner, some people would. I'm not gonna say everybody.
Right.
That's why I say it's a mental illness. Like you would kill a motherfucker about somebody you love. You're not a person that would normally murder somebody or even violent. But if you see somebody trying to hurt your kid or your partner, you would turn into a whole different motherfucker temporarily, unfortunately, and it gets away from you. And when you love a person, you would give them both your goddamn kidneys and you at least need one. But because you love them, it makes you do those things above and beyond. So it's not a negative thing that's a mental illness. I mean, if you take it that way.
I say this right here too, though. I say that when it comes to, like, and you say you can kill somebody else, I feel like love can drive you to kill the person you love.
Yes, that too. Because you got these people,
Absolutely.
these women that can't let love go. You
Yeah,
cutting up this man, you trying to fight this man, fighting other bitches. That's a mental illness, babe. You got an imbalance now. So love can be very dangerous. That's why I don't fuck with it like that.
Because I tell everybody this right here. I tell everybody this right here. If you don't love a person, don't never say that word to them.
Talk your shit, King.
If you don't love that person, don't never say that word to them. Go ahead, Donnie. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, going off that analogy of what you say about love, well, now that's life. Life is a mental illness. Living life, period, is a mental illness then. Because
I mean, if that's your correlation, I would just talk about love, babe.
But yeah, I know, but that's why I said going off that analogy of love. You're saying
Right.
love is a mental illness. Well, again, going off that, I feel like living life is a mental illness because what you just said that you would go above and beyond for your loved ones, you would do for yourself as well. If somebody was to harm you, you would kill.
I
I
don't
would
think so though.
almost without hesitation, because and then it's self defense at that point. Or at least you're putting it off as self defense.
But I'm saying, I'm gonna say this right here. I don't say. I think that when it comes to the idea of love, you would do stuff beyond yourself. I don't think that people would normally kill somebody for they feel a way. I think that if you're in love with a person, you're driven to, okay, I will kill anybody that comes against you, baby. But sometimes you might be like, man, I could take the BS. I'll take it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I
I
don't
get
think.
it. Yeah, I understand. I get it. I
You
would
know what I'm saying?
kill.
But what I say is that when you're gonna, like I said before, if you're gonna mention the word love, and not just in the sense, 'cause I think, because my wife was talking, my wife said she feel like the word love is just need to be thrown out altogether.
Yeah,
She
it's a figure of
she
speech.
she feel like
Love
'cause
is a
she
figure of
like
speech.
nobody really means it now, or nobody ever really means it unless you want to express that feeling at that time. But I think people nowadays just say it, just say, yo, I love you, man, I love you, whatever. But I do think that, if you're going to say the word I love you, your actions got to follow through with it.
Mhm.
I just feel like love is not a mental illness. I think the problem is what we don't realize is people have their own traumas from their environments growing up and situations that they've been through that our parents or whoever else have put us through that lead to trauma responses that are triggered, such as codependency or abandonment issues, when we admire or value someone that we don't want to lose. It's not that love makes us, so to speak, crazy. It's that we already have these issues that are enhanced and brought out into the forefront when we don't have them under control, when we have somebody we don't want to lose. So
But I think not quite that though. I do feel like that you don't always have to have a certain type of trauma, because there's been people who have a loving life. It's
That's a
the
big
fact.
ass accountability.
But it's the
Trauma,
fact is,
trauma this, trauma that.
it's a feeling that sometimes can overwhelm you. And a lot of people have situations that they go through that they never been through before, or they have a feeling they never been through before, and it cause them to act a certain way.
we all have traumas. It doesn't
Yeah,
necessarily have to do
Exactly.
with our upbringing.
yeah. But I'm talking about as for
100%.
love though, but as for the way of
Exactly.
love, I do think that love can bring
Oh,
on,
sorry.
especially if it's used improperly.
Mhm.
If you use improperly, if that word and the actions are used improperly, it
It
can
can be
give
dangerous.
it can make you mental. It can make you into a place where, look, this is something that I ain't never experienced before. I never
That's
experienced this
kind of
before.
what that's kind of
So
what I was
let me
trying to
ask a
convey.
softer
Oh,
question real
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
quick. This ain't even my show, but I'm gonna still ask my
You know,
question.
like it. Go ahead, man.
So my question on a softer note, not argumentative, what makes you guys, because we're talking about relationships and stuff, what makes you know or have the inkling feeling that you love somebody? Like when do you know? Like for yourself personally, like I'm fucking with you for real, and then I really love you. Like where is your dichotomy when it comes to that? Where's your correlation?
When life is not as fun without them.
He's trying to get some pussy after this show. His DM's about to be on fire.
He damn sure is.
That white, no, don't worry, his wife right there beside his ass. He ain't doing this shit.
No, but that can be considered the mental illness that you're probably trying to convey. Is yeah, life itself isn't that fun without you. Like, yeah, I have my own things that I like to do, my podcast, video games, stuff of that sort. But those things are just as much as enhanced as well because you are a part of it. You're here with me while I'm growing in life. We're growing together. So yeah, when
Okay.
life itself is not as fun without your person.
So that's your okay. That's yours. Chrissy, what you got, man?
When I know that I'm in love with somebody, it means that they help me grow. That
Mm.
also, yes, what he said, life is better with them around. But I also feel like I could be my authentic self around this person. There's never a time where I feel like I have to hide anything. I don't have to be somebody that I'm not at any time. I could be weird. I could fart in a supermarket and we'll both laugh, like kind of things, shit like that. But at the same time, it's also somebody whose morals align with mine. Your morals need to align with my morals because if we don't share the same morals in that sense, we're never going to work. If I say love thy neighbor and you're like, no, fuck our neighbor, we're never going to work out because you're always going to cause problems with the fucking neighbor, where I'm like, no, just let them be great, you know? So things like that. But also how we raise our children and handle our finances have to align too, because you ain't going to have my ass in debt. Fuck that.
I'm sorry.
Going back to Eric's question about how can you be in a relationship with somebody who religious beliefs are different, because that plays a part in what you just said.
I can't.
You can't. Okay.
I can't.
So with me personally, going to CL's question is how I feel that I'm in love with a person is, and I think as we grow, the definition of it changed for me. Because in my life, I can say I was in love, quote unquote, several different times. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna tie down to the next question I'm gonna ask too. But I could say in my life, I thought I was in love. I'm like, damn, I'm in love. When I was 18 years old, man, and my high school girlfriend, man, she gave me the sloppy top I ain't never had before at the time. You know what? I'm in love with you. I'm in love with you. You know what I'm saying? At 20, right. At 25, at 25, my girl, she's spending money on me, man. She's spending time with me. Okay, I'm in love with this. Okay, now I'm at 33. I went through life now. I went through life, and life done dealt me the hard hand, and I have a person now who's going to fight that war with me, and that would let me know. Okay, look, my wife. I use my wife for instance. Me and my wife, when we got together, I just got out of a bad breakup, so it was over. My breakup was over. Whatever. My wife was actually one of my brother's best friends, and when I was going through I was going through a really hard time, and then it got even harder because I got a cancer diagnosis. And at that time, towards the beginning of our relationship, I was like, man, I'm a loner. I don't need nobody around me. I don't want that people. I don't want nobody to help me out. But no matter what, I was pushing people away. This woman right here, it was like, look, I'm gonna fight this with you, regardless if you like it or not.
Aww.
So that would make me like, okay, look, I gotta. My idea of love changed.
My daddy.
Shut up, hey, look. First of all, you've been with your damn wife since damn preschool. Shut up. Anyway, but my thing was, my idea of love changed because it's no longer about. In my teen years, love was about attacking my feelings towards sex. In my 20s, my love was attached to my feeling of survival. Now I'm in my 30s, my love is attached to my growth. So I feel like love, my idea of love changes I think the idea of love changes as you get older and you experience.
Exactly. Like you said, I've been with my wife since I was preschool.
12 and a half.
7th grade for specifics here. But over the course of time, yeah, my perception on love as well has changed. I think what love is a combination of patience, tolerance, and compassion.
Right.
Patience, tolerance, and compassion. Like, say, like where I kind of feel like that was coming from is the stuff that we've been through. Me and my wife been through, and she's done things, I've done things, but like I stated, I think one of the dopest things about my relationship is that we have been together since the 7th grade. Of course, there were on and off moments because we're freaking kids. That's just obvious. I shouldn't have to say that.
I mean, especially when she stole your finger paint.
Exactly. But those time periods when we were separated, we stayed in contact all the time, and those periods was not long at all. So it was kind of like we didn't even see each other for a week or something. So we back together.
So I'm asking a question. Do you think? I'm asking a question. I hate to cut you off, Dan. I'm sorry, but do you think that you got to go through some type of trauma in your relationship to be considered in love? To be your bond as lovers?
I don't think you have to, but the fact that you do, they're like, because it's not the fact that you have to, it's going to happen. You're going to go through trauma with your in your relationship. It doesn't have to be what I've been through, you've been through, or what anybody else in this group has been through, but you're going to go through trauma. It's just inevitable. So, but I think what you've been through helps helps you grow into what I'm trying to convey now.
Mhm.
Because again, going with what I mean by I think love is patience, tolerance, and compassion. That's that's the, equates to love to me. Is that just because no matter what we've been through, and just because I feel like I've grown or
Mhm.
she has grown, it
Mhm.
doesn't mean that I've grown or she have grown with me or anybody else in the world has grown with me.
Right.
So being patient, that the fact that she probably was patient with you going
Mhm.
through your growth
Right. Right.
and being tolerable with her not growing at a pace that you think that she needs to be growing
Mhm.
or your partner needs to be growing.
I got you.
Tolerating because we all have a tolerance level. That tolerance level is that line that
Mhm.
we supposed to have that we don't cross, or
Mhm.
those supposed rules or whatever that we have in our relationship. That's tolerance.
Got you.
Now, depending on how and when and how often
Mhm.
this tolerance is pushed, it depends on the individual. How much can you tolerate before you decide to go, I don't feel like going through this no more.
Right. Right. So, like, last question on this topic right here because we're getting late and I got to go to work. Damn it. But the last question is: do y'all think that you can be in love with more than one person?
Let Kiki in.
Frank, your key. Go ahead, man. You've
Um,
been popping in and out. Damn it.
my
Go ahead, man.
bad, bro. Do I think you can love more than one person? You can, but it'll never be the same.
Mm,
You'll never be distributed equal because, like, you can have a bond with somebody that gonna last longer than the bond you have with the person that you're constantly with.
mm,
To add more to what you just said, and go to it's the same thing with me and my wife. Again, we've been together since the seventh grade, and we are a different person. We're not
Hmm.
the same from back in the day,
right.
and that's part of loving. Can you love what this person has come to love themselves now?
Yeah.
Mm.
Can you get down with the things that they like doing now? Hey, I used to like doing this, but I kind of don't
But
feel like
so
it. I don't like this no more. I like to be with other people now. So not saying that I'm a bad person for liking to be with other people, but I've grown to like this now. Can you tolerate that?
okay, so
Okay.
Chrissy, go ahead, baby.
Oh, I was just going to say, if you going on the topic of can you love more than one person, there are many different kinds of love, to be fair. So, of course, you can. But in a
Yeah.
romantic love, you guys said it yourself. Our idea of love changes the older we grow.
Hmm.
So, how can you say that you can't love lifetime if that idea of what love actually is changes?
Okay, okay.
And
CL, you got
that
anything, baby?
that's when you come into play with that
What
that
was the question?
boundary line.
Could you
That's
love
when you
more than
play
one
with that
person?
boundary line,
I
huh?
think you can, but it would
I'm
be
sorry.
in
I'm sorry.
two.
Go ahead.
It would
You
be
can go.
in multiple different ways.
Hmm.
Um, because some people I just love how they hug me, and the other people I just love how they smell and I love their company. Other people I'm gonna love his conversation. This is all can be romantically, but the better question is. Can one person love you all the ways that you actually need to be loved? But it's your show. But I believe yes.
Love
I
languages.
believe yes to
You know,
that.
I told you, man, Sierra will come on a goddamn show and she'll take that shit and run.
Yeah,
can,
you
can I
can,
say
but I don't think
real
it's
quick?
necessarily fair for
Can
people
I say to
who
answer your
have
question? Yes.
different perspectives
Hold
on
on, hold
love
on.
and
Oh,
loyalty.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you got it, Donnie. I'm sorry.
But no, all right, Dad, what you want to say, man?
Oh, I'll say, what do you say? Can you love that person all the way that you want to be loved?
No, baby. My question was, do you feel like one person can love you on all the ways that you need to be loved?
I don't think
No,
nobody.
Absolutely.
No.
no.
So,
Absolutely.
why is your
Think so.
Absolutely.
answer? Shut up. Why is your answer no? That you can't love multiple people? You can't have it both ways. But we'll talk about that later. But go ahead. Back to you, Eric.
Next time on Pussy Talk. but but but
What's
no,
the
no, no.
right conversation?
Yeah, you know me. I love that. But I do say this right here, man. Cause me and wife was talking. She like you're gonna have one true love,
Mhm.
and I feel like as you, like I said earlier, as you grow, your definition of what's a true love
It
changes.
changes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I, I don't think it. I don't think it. I don't think it derives or derails that much from what you uh, initially thought true love was. I don't think it
You think? Do you
derails
think? Do
that
you think
much.
that it grows?
Yeah, yeah. Everybody grows, but I don't think it derails that much to where what you just stated. Like going off to what I'm sorry,
CL,
what's your name? Put CL. Going
Don't
off what
CL.
ever
you said.
call me pussy. Call me pussy. But don't ever
Oh,
call me pussy.
sorry. But going back to your question, and
Oh
is
wow.
yes, absolutely. I feel like one person can love you the way that you, in all the ways you want to be loved, because that's called communication. That's what exactly what communication is for. If you're not
I'm not talking to
communicating
you,
these
Donnie. I
things,
said next time on Pussy Talks. But my whole the way I write is to get people to talk. I could get you to talk all day, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
I
oh,
didn't really want to answer. I was just
Yo.
fucking with Eric.
oh, my bad.
You
Well,
know. Let me say this.
I
Let me
was
say this.
adding, I was piggybacking off what you said and what Eric said. Like, I
Oh,
don't
okay.
think it
I'll just hold
derives.
a show one day with
I don't
Eric.
think it
Eric, we're
derives.
gonna write a whole show together. I got
Look,
you, big
let me
dog.
say, hey, see, we still gonna do that goddamn karaoke night, but we still gonna.
Hey,
I think that could be my season finale, the karaoke night. Um, but yo, let me end this right here real quick, man. Last question for everybody. Does a poly relationship work for you? Can you be in a poly relationship? Come on,
Nope.
no forms of it. Anybody?
yep,
Now, Chrissy, I knew it. I knew it.
yep.
Nope.
Here's the thing. A poly relationship and an open relationship are two different things. That's what people don't understand. In a poly relationship, you have your relationships and you have more than one because each person fills a different need that the other cannot. So, for example, if I am not home often because I am out traveling the globe or whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm okay with being in a polyamorous relationship. Do what you do, just don't be stupid and don't embarrass me first and foremost. But when I come back to my area in this house, this is my house and I'm the queen of my domain. That's always the thing.
What
A
if you want to?
polyamorous relationship does not always mean that you have like three wives living with you and you're all like happy ever after, go hold hands, kumbaya, and skip off down the road. It's not a polyamorous relationship. A lot of polyamorous relationships do not actually live together. So just to throw
Every
that out there.
relationship is the same thing. Every relationship is the same thing. Poly, open, or monog. They're all the same thing. All you have to do is convey to one another. You just gave rules in your poly. It's rules in open. There's cheating in open and poly. If you do what we didn't talk about doing, that's cheating. It's the same as monog. If you do what we didn't talk about doing, it's cheating. So they're all the same on that aspect.
Key, you man. I know. Now, the key already told us he ain't going out having sex any damn way. So I need you to go ahead.
All right. So when it comes down to well, the poly relationship in Islam, we can have up to 4 wives. The reason being is
That's
the
why he
fact
joined.
that,
I'm kidding. I was fucking with you. I was
but
fucking with
like, even though you having 4 wives, is also a criteria that must be met within 4 wives. You got to treat them all equally. You cannot treat one better than the other. You got to be able to support every last one of them equally. Because at the
Right.
end of the day, you might have one wife that can't have kids, but other one can.
Mhm.
And that's how you replenish the earth with offsprings.
Ooh.
So that's how we take it. By
Mhm.
being that this is your wife, at the end of the day, it's no disagreement about who do this, who do that. It's a team thing.
Mhm.
You can't have a it's not to me, I don't think it's right. That's my personal opinion. It doesn't make sense to me that for a woman to have multiple husbands. The reason why
Mhm.
I say that because if you get pregnant, who's the father?
I
both
mean,
my husbands.
don't say if you're in a poly, everybody should
All
be
my
sharing.
husbands.
But in the day, but if you gotta think about it, if you're the husband, you got 4 wives, you know exactly who your father is of your child. There's no questioning.
If she's faithful. But I'm gonna say this to you,
Anywhere it go, there's still
Rankeish, you
rules.
said 4 wives, 1 man. Nigga, you said you gotta work as a team. Nigga, that's a basketball team all day, baby. I feel you. I feel
But
you. I
but
feel
the
you.
thing of it, see, I get asked it a lot being that I'm Muslim. But the thing of it is, if I can't take care of 4 wives equally and consecutively,
You can't have them.
you only need one.
Right.
That's the place that people miss when you tell them that you Muslim or you think you want to have multiple wives. Who wants to have multiple wives? First of all,
Let me tell you the truth.
the only thing of it is you do it under the
Who's
rules
the
of
person
God
who want
regulation
multiple
that it
wives
makes
want
it
multiple
the right
wives?
way through God's eyes to have multiple wives. That's it. That kills the point of you going out and cheating on your wife or having sex outside of your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this question,
That
Rankeish.
doesn't kill
And
the
I
point, man.
promise you it's
That
real
does
quick.
not kill
I
the
really
point
want to
of
know.
you going out to cheat.
So if your 4 wives
Okay, hold on 1 second. If you got 4 wives and you step out and you cheat on your wife, guess what? When it come to day of judgment, you got to answer that question between you and God, not your 4 wives.
Well, going off your belief,
stop talking to
okay,
Donnie.
but
Answer my question. My question is
I'm
what
important.
you
listening.
believe, okay.
You got
You
4
making the choice
wives,
to go out
right?
and cheat.
Hold on, Donnie. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to let people talk in time, man.
My bad.
You
My
got
bad.
4 wives, and these and 2 of them get in the fight, and they both ask you who won. What is you gonna tell them the truth of who won? Because you gotta treat them
Well,
equal. You gotta tell them all the truth.
I don't give a
Fir-
damn who won. If I got to pay for your tracks, it's a problem.
First of all, your wives shouldn't be fighting each other anyway.
Nah, fuck that. Don't change my
What is that
don't.
to fight
All
over?
women
That's
fight.
what I want to know. What is that to fight over?
Because
It
damn it,
don't
I wanted
matter.
Tuesday, motherfucker. You got Thursday.
Right. And she took my day. You know, bitches can fight over anything. But the
Man,
question was who won? That's the first question. Do you tell the truth? And then the second question, since you got to treat them all equal, do they both equally got to keep their fucked up hair, or do you pay for both of their hair to get redone? See, this 4 wives shit just pissed me off. It's expensive just thinking about it.
but that's the reason why it tells you if you have the means to do so.
But would you get both of their hair done because they was fighting, or do they both got to sit with nappy ass hair because they was fighting?
I'm gonna tell if I have 4 wives, I'm taking care of every last one of them equally. If I have the means to do so, it ain't gonna be no one do this and one do that.
See,
I'm
first
not
of all,
gonna make a difference between none of them at the end of the
You got
day.
to
Granted, I
discipline my
cannot love
children.
them. I cannot love them all equally. I cannot, but I can treat them all the same equally.
let me tell you this right here. I'm gonna say this right here. Out of them 4 wives, one of them better learn how to do some fucking hair. But we just gonna like damn it. If I got 4
This is
women in the
why.
house and nobody can do hair.
This is why you got to have a timeout chair when you have multiple wives.
A timeout chair.
It's your turn in the timeout chair.
Hey,
Sit down.
hey, look, man, y'all finna wrap up the show, man. I gotta wrap up the show, man. I want to thank all of y'all for being on, man. I love real conversations. I love that we was able to get a chance to. I mean, even though we got worked up a little bit, I love that. I love that we get a chance for everybody to voice their opinions and just share their light.
You still cool, man. Crazy, but you cool.
Hey, I learned one thing: crazy is the word of the day. But good Lord knows, Chris. That black side came out for a quick second. I know this nigga. No, I can't say it. I can't
I
say
really did though. I was like, I know he is not.
Well, all jokes aside, man, y'all, man.
Rankeish, we gotta get you on Pussy Talks. I fucks with you.
Rankeish, yo, she can get your pussy talk, man, but you gotta make sure. Anyway, I ain't gonna say it out loud. But anyway, yeah, I want everybody to pretty much just tell everybody where they can find you at and how to get in contact with you, and then we'll go from there. Go ahead, Chrissy, let you start.
So you can find me under most social medias as CA Kanooble, or you can go on my website, cakanooble.com, or you can Google me, bitch.
When did she start going by Chrissy? That's what's fucking me up. But we're gonna talk in a minute, Chrissy. I'm CL. I'm your favorite fine ass auntie. Your favorite hostess with the mostest from Pussy Talks. I'm available on all platforms, and I love y'all. Like I just like talking shit, and I love you. That's it. You can find, bitch. I'm like air. I'm everywhere. That's it.
Right. You better be careful with that love word. Go ahead, Rankeish.
Hey, I'm only on Instagram, man. You can find me at Amir Shabazz.
You know what's up, man?
Oh, you got a new little Muslim name. I like that. That's cute.
Hey, hey, be careful. Gonna be Muhammad next week. But go ahead, Donnie.
Look, the boy mama call him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay. You can catch me on Google. Just Google Whatever Talk. That's my podcast. We talk about whatever. I love fixating on taboo. The more taboo it is, the more I enjoy talking about it. And I have another podcast called Challenge Our Belief. That's I center lighting around Christianity because that's what I know the most. But all religions are welcome to be conversed upon on. And yeah,
Oh, I got a new podcast dropping called CL Presents My Black is Beautiful.
Okay.
So I'll be dropping that here in a couple weeks because people always want me to do one-on-one interviews real quick. I hate them because I don't really care about people that much, but I'm going to do it
Right.
anyway.
thank you.
I was thinking about doing the same thing. All right, man, y'all, it's Kurt Franklin's son, not the one he was on the phone with. Yo, this your boy Eric G, man. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for being on my show tonight. Yo, we had a great time. It's always fun, man. Yo, if y'all want to get in contact with me, I'm on all social media. At Random Thoughts with Eric G on Twitter, Instagram, now with Eric G on Facebook, and find me at Money Green on TikTok. You'll find this show and plenty more on YouTube. I am on all platforms, y'all. Damn it, all platforms. Get to know me. Get to know these beautiful people up here. Damn it, we on all platforms. Damn it, if you name it, I'm on it. Y'all, man, I just want to say, like I always say, everybody, thank y'all again. Y'all beautiful people. I genuinely love y'all. And yo, and like I always say, man, God bless you. Peace.
Assalamu alaikum.
Peace out.
Alaikum salam.
Alaikum
Salam.
salam.
Salami too. All right.